Hello and welcome back to the Mainly Sports Podcast. He's Jeesh,
And he's Shoop.
and today's podcast we're gonna mix it up a little bit. We're not gonna do a top 10. We're not gonna do news or anything like that. What we're gonna do is our Major League Baseball dream team. So like our favorite players, stuff like that. Not necessarily the best players, but just a dream team of all of our favorite players or top players at that time that we kind of followed behind and rallied behind throughout our childhood. So uh, if you want if you want, Jeesh, I'll go first. Uh,
Okay.
I'll start out. Do you want to start with the pitchers? Is that what we're doing?
Sure.
So
Yeah, we'll start with pitchers.
okay. I'll just tell you my starter first. Then I got starter is Justin Verlander. Um, the reason why is because he had really good years with the Detroit Tigers there, and then uh, he had a couple down years, and then he got a really hot wife, and then all of a sudden became really good again,
hmm
which you never really see. And he's still going strong today. So uh, it's just cool that he was really good when we were younger, and then
Yeah.
he fell off like a normal pitcher does because your arm
hmm
gets worn out after a while. But then all of a sudden, it was like he just came back out of nowhere again, and it was like he had two careers in baseball, which is pretty cool. So Justin Verlander for my starter.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always liked Justin Verlander. I liked him a lot when he was on the Tigers. I did like him on the Astros, and I'm glad he got his World Series. So I was very happy for him. And also, like you said, he does have a very hot wife. And shout out to Kate Upton. If you're watching, you know where to follow us.
Damn
But
right.
anyway, my starting pitcher is Pedro Martinez. I grew up watching Pedro. I loved him so much. He had the look in his eyes, and he had the fastball that was super fast, almost 100 miles an hour. Um, and of course, he played for the Boston Red Sox, so I saw him a lot. Um, and then during the later stages of his career, he went to the New York Mets, and he did good over there as well. He did good everywhere he played. Pedro was just a one of a kind pitcher, and I just loved watching him growing up, and that's the reason why I have him as my favorite starting pitcher.
That's fair. I'm gonna roll that into then because I have him as my reliever, and that is
Okay.
no disrespect at all. And the reason why is because I figure like a reliever is super important to baseball because a
Yeah.
starter can go in there, give up 1, 2 runs, and you can have a lead or be losing, and that reliever has to come into that cold. He gets to warm up a little bit, but he just has to be. They're just like, hey, you're going in. So, um, and if I had to ask anybody, hey, our starting pitcher's not doing very good. We need to shut down this game so we can get the bats going and get a lead in this game. Pedro Martinez is like, all right, that's fine. You need me to shut down a couple innings? I got you. I won't allow a single hit. So, yeah, Pedro. If it was like the perfect scenario, Pedro Martinez would be my reliever.
Yeah, yeah, I could totally agree with that. I could have easily put Pedro as my relief pitcher as well. I probably should have because at my relief pitcher position, I have Johan Santana, and I have Johan Santana on my list as one of my pitchers because when he played for the Minnesota Twins, he was arguably the best pitcher in baseball at that time. And then during the prime of his career, once again going with the New York Mets because it's my favorite team. I was a Mets and Red Sox guy, so Johan went to the Mets, and he stayed the top pitcher in baseball. The Johan Santana being the ace of the New York Mets is like Jacob DeGrom today for the Mets, um, and that's the reason why I did not put DeGrom in this list because Johan was my first love as a Met,
All right.
and I just like his pitching style. He was a lefty. Um, I figured I'd throw a lefty in there. I didn't want to throw two right-handers in there. You want to mix it up a little bit, and then he had those injuries at the end of his career, which ended it eventually. And it was just always so nice seeing Johan out there to be the Mets' only good pitcher, and we might actually get a win in this series. So Johan's my relief pitcher.
All right. Uh, I got closer. This is why I figured two starters, um, because closers are technically relief pitchers. So um, Mariano Rivera for a closer. I
Yeah,
have a feeling he's probably yours as well. Maybe not, but um, just there's no reason not to have him there, I guess, just because it's Mariano Rivera, and then he was a Yankee. He won a lot of championships. So I mean, you have to put him there. He's the greatest closer of all time. So that's why he's my closer. I don't really have literally anything else to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can agree with you on he is the greatest closer ever. He's not my favorite closer though. My favorite closer. This brings me back. He didn't have a long, good career, I should say. I mean, he's been around here and there, but Francisco Rodriguez was always my guy.
Yep.
And once again, is a Met. Um, I believe he started with the Angels, if I'm correct, and then he went to the New York Mets. But this was mostly, it had nothing to do with how good he performed, although he was a very, very good closer. It was the leg kick. I don't know what it is about the leg kicks. With pitchers, I just love seeing it happen because it's unique. I don't want to see a pitcher go out there and just wind up and throw the ball. I want to see him do something a little funky while he does it. And he always wears his hat sideways. And back in the day, I like wearing my hats like that. So he had his hat sideways, and it was just cool to see him do all that and produce on another level the way he did. And yeah, I believe one year he had 62 saves, I believe it was. I might have to double check that. But yeah, Francisco Rodriguez is my closer.
All right. I'm just gonna say my manager's Terry Francona. I'm a Red Sox fan. There's your reason. Um, my catcher is Jason Varitek, and my reasoning for it is I'm a Red Sox fan. Enough said. No, um, he was the he was the like when you think back, dude, just like you remember Jason Varitek, the goatee and everything else, dude. He just looked like he was gonna kick your ass.
Yeah.
Like just everything about Jason Varitek screamed Boston. So there's the Red Sox that I have on my list just scream Boston, and yeah, so Jason Varitek is my catcher.
Yeah, I can 100% agree with you. Jason Varitek, who's also my catcher on my list. The captain of that team for so many years. The heart and soul, basically. Never did him dirty. And the Red Sox never did him dirty either. Um, yeah, he wasn't the greatest of hitters, but he could manage a game so well. And I'm sure Kurt Schilling will tell you Jason Varitek is a smart guy.
Yeah, yeah. He wasn't a power hitter, but he was a clutch hitter. I think
Right.
that was the big thing for the Red Sox in that time. They just had a bunch of clutch hitters. Not
Yeah.
all of them had power, but they could all make contact at every single at bat. So
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Whenever he got in the lineup, you thought, hey, you got a good chance there. He's a smart man. He might get on base. And if he didn't, it's like, it's okay. He's pretty good anyway. But yeah, honestly, I think Jason Varitek would be a perfect fit as a manager someday for the Red Sox. I know he's in the organization still.
oh yeah,
But him being a manager for the Red Sox would be just top. Put the cherry on top of the cake right there.
mm-hmm. Jason Varitek, hashtag top 10 underrated baseball players. Maybe.
Yeah.
Um,
Maybe.
my first baseman is Albert Pujols, and
Yep.
yeah, the reason why, dude, okay, is because backyard baseball on the PlayStation 2 with playing like the little kids. I always had Albert Pujols on my team, and that's what made me, see who Albert Pujols was, and then to actually watch him, dude, that dude could hit, and I mean hit. Like you thought, dude, when he hit the ball, the bang from the ball coming off the bat, you thought the
Yeah.
ball had burst. Like, dude, he had so much power. It was crazy. Um, and he was a big guy that wasn't very agile. That actually played, on the defensive side as well. A lot of the bigger guys like him, like he wasn't super big, but he wasn't very agile. And normally they would just be DH guys. So, yeah, Albert Pujols is my first baseman.
Yeah. I mean, when I grew up, I always watched Albert Pujols, and well, as much as I could, and he was basically always the best first baseman in baseball. For, I believe, like 10 years straight. No one was better than him, and the way he looked at you when he was at that, look at the pitcher, he was just staring. He had that huge glare in his eye, not the glare, but the scowl. He has a little scowl on his face, and it almost made the pitcher maybe scared to throw to him. I know if I was pitching, I wouldn't want to throw to him for a fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Yeah.
would.
I almost picked Ryan Howard for this though, but
Mhm.
my time that I lived in New Jersey, I couldn't put a Philadelphia guy in there. So
Yeah. All right, moving on to my first baseman. Yeah, I did not put Ryan Howard in here as well because he's a Philly and I was a Mets fan, so that didn't happen. But I had Miguel Cabrera, who started off as a third baseman
yep.
and moved his way to first base. He kind of got lazy toward the. Well, he still plays, but he's kind of getting lazy. He's been lazy for the last few years, but look at Detroit's record. He has a reason.
Yeah.
But growing up, watching him and for the Marlins, which is originally the Florida Marlins, now the Miami Marlins. He was the first guy that I saw that was such a with the power that he had. I mean, there was power hitters out there, but Miguel Cabrera had lots of power, and I thought for a fact when I was younger that he would had a chance to break the home run record. For some reason, I don't know why. And every time I played a baseball game, I'd put him on my team just to see if he could do it. And it's not going to happen, but I always had hope, and that's why I always um, kept track of his stats throughout his career. And I always followed them, no matter how bad the Tigers are. But yeah, it's the reasoning for Miguel Cabrera being my first baseman.
All right. Um, for second base for me, I have Dustin Pedroia.
Mm-hmm.
Again, heart and soul of the team. Again, it sucks though because his career now is kind of just sitting at home waiting for his knee to be better, and it's been like that
Yeah,
for like 2 years now. But while he was playing, dude, Dustin Pedroia was the man. Um, thing with Dustin Pedroia was he was always making contact, and if he wasn't getting a hit at that at bat, he was going to make that at bat go to 10, 11, 12 pitches, and frustrated pitcher and make a pitcher tired. So, and then on top of that, he was the most unselfish player in the world. It didn't matter who was doing good on the team. If you were doing good, he was the first guy to celebrate with you. So, um,
mm-hmm.
I miss Dustin Pedroia being on the team, and I hope he does come back at least for one more year to have his fair chance at a retirement season. So, Dustin
Yeah,
Pedroia, second baseman for my dream team.
mm-hmm. Yeah. My second baseman is also Dustin Pedroia for literally all the same reasons you just said, and I'm not going to talk a whole lot about it because we all know from Red Sox Nation, Dustin Pedroia was, like you said, the heart and soul. And when he was fielding that ball at second base, he left his blood, sweat, and tears on that field every single play, and that's what made him such a great competitor. And he's a perfect fit for Boston. And I don't feel so bad about my hairline, so that's a plus.
Shortstop, obvious, Derek Jeter. Same reason why we mentioned him in the sports moments.
Yeah.
The 3,000th hit being a home run, that was just memorable. His walk off to end his career, that just showed just how clutch of a player that he really was. Such a good dude. Even when he took over in the Marlins there, uh, he still helped out the Yankees by giving them all their players. So
Yeah.
he's a true Yankee through and through, you know. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Derek Jeter at shortstop.
Yeah, I definitely don't approve of that, but yeah, Derek Jeter is arguably the greatest shortstop of all time, or one of them. And like you said, that final hit as a Yankee was just, and not being a Yankees fan, it was such a special moment in all sports. But
Yeah.
so I almost put Derek Jeter as my shortstop, but I had to stick with my Mets, and I put Jose Reyes. Um,
Oh wow,
I don't.
I thought you were gonna have Derek Jeter.
No, I had Jose. And the only reason I had Jose is because he played for the Mets, to be honest with you. And
Yeah.
he was always our leadoff guy, and he was super fast. That's about it. He was pretty good at fielding. He was just a fun player to watch throughout the Mets' crappy years and beyond. Um, he did come back to the Mets at the end of his career. I don't know if he's still playing or not, but I know he played for the Mets last year because he came back for David Wright's last season. So that was pretty special. And they played with each other. They both started in their final game, or the David Wright's final game for the Mets. So that was such a special moment, even for me to see. Um, so yeah, Jose Reyes is my shortstop.
My third baseman is Adrian Beltre. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason why is because it was baseball 2011 with I think it was a Phillies player on the cover. I can't remember. But I was always using the Rangers because they were really freaking good. Ian Kinsler and all them. Um,
Yep.
but Adrian Beltre was just the man, dude. He was the power hitter there. So uh, overweight dude, bigger dude, and just powerhouse. And I think like all my favorite hitters are the powerhouses, obviously because of the home run ball. Um,
Yeah.
but they have to have some style to it. Adrian Beltre had style, so yeah, he's my third baseman.
Yeah. I always liked Adrian Beltre in this, like you said, the style. And every time he hit that home run, just drop to his knees. And yeah, he did some incredible stuff. Like behind from hitting the ball to even fielding the ball, like you said. He's definitely a Hall of Famer in my eyes. Um, but yeah, moving on to my third baseman, we all know it. It's David Wright, captain of the Mets for all them years. Started with the Mets, ended with the Mets. Um, I really can't say much more on that. He's the like Dustin Pedroia for Boston. David Wright is the heart and soul of the Mets. Um, Not New York, Queens. He's the heart and soul of Queens because Yankees have the Bronx or whatever. But yeah, David Wright. It's too bad that he had the back injuries. The injury, all the other injuries to derail his career, because David Wright, he always had a smile on his face no matter what, unless he was retiring, then he was crying. But I don't blame him. Um, but yeah, I could go on. I could make a whole segment on David Wright, but I'm not going to. But David Wright, my third baseman, forever a Met.
Yeah, that's shocking that you'd have him there. Um, that's a joke, by the way. Uh, left fielder, Manny Ramirez, obviously. The only reason why I have him here is because I couldn't think of any other left fielder that I'd want other than Manny Ramirez. Um,
Yep.
the 1-2 punch with Big Papi, helping us get our first championship in 86 years. There's so much that goes into it. The dreads, they were as disgusting as ever. Uh,
Yeah.
they just look disgusting. I'm not saying dreads look disgusting, but his dreads always look disgusting. So I don't know why, but yeah. I mean, Manny Ramirez for obvious reasons. I think he's one of the laziest left fielders ever, but one of the greatest hitters ever. So Manny
Yeah.
Ramirez.
Yeah, definitely. I also had Manny Ramirez. I think you knew that. That's why he kept it short and sweet. But yeah, so many memories of Manny Boston. He, like you said, the stupid stuff he did, cutting off Johnny Damon as a cutoff man, um, as a left fielder. Johnny Damon was a center fielder. If nobody knows that, but yeah, Manny cutting him off, or high fiving the fan, or even going to the bathroom in the middle of an inning
Yes.
in the Green Monster.
Yeah.
Uh, he was just a goofball, and he was actually honestly a perfect fit for Boston because he had that humor and that mentality that just fit with the city, and that team in '04 is the reason why they won that championship because they were just full of the whole team was full of a bunch of misfits is what it was. And I know for a fact we're going to make a segment about the Boston Red Sox '04 championship. I know for a fact we're going to.
Oh
But
yeah.
Manny Ramirez definitely the left fielder. So yeah.
All right. Center field for me is Coco Crisp.
Mm-hmm.
The name Coco Crisp, like that's already amazing. That's why I even started to like him in the first place, pay attention to him. And then he was just this little tiny scrawny dude out in center field that literally caught everything. It didn't matter if it was just past second base; he could still get there, and it was just he's super fast. He could hit to third, like I said, and get a double out of it. Obviously, wasn't very much of a power hitter, but like I said, I like flashy players, and Coco Crisp was like this swagger, flashy guy out in the outfield. Not so much at at batting, but out in the outfield, he knew that he was king out there. So, yeah, Coco Crisp is my man in center field for sure. I mean, granted, not like it's our dream team, and it goes by favorite players. So he's not the most talented, but he was definitely one of the most fun to watch, especially on the defensive side, which there's not many very fun to watch defensive side guys. So, yeah, Coco Crisp.
Yeah, I think coming from a boss, watching the Red Sox all them years, Coco Crisp is definitely a very fun player to watch. If you hit the ball anywhere near center field, he's tracking that ball down. He's going to make an amazing play. So yeah, I agree with you, Coco Crisp at your center field position.
Also, shout out to Jackie Bradley Jr. on that though, because he's definitely a Coco Crisp guy for sure. So he prides himself on defense like Coco Crisp did. So that's why I respect him so much.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with the Jackie Bradley comment as well. Moving on to center field for me, I've mentioned it in my favorite baseball players list, I believe. Not the baseball players list, but on one of the sports players list, Ken Griffey Jr. If you don't know who Ken Griffey Jr. is, you probably shouldn't be watching baseball. Started off with the Mariners, playing center field. He had the athletic. Like I said, he's a 5-tool player, and he was the king of what he did. And he played so hard, and injuries eventually started catching up with him, and which was too bad because I think he could have honestly broke the home run record. I know I said that about Miguel Cabrera, but Ken Griffey legit could have broke the home run record if he would have just not got hurt. He would have broke it by a long shot. So yeah, I don't really have much to say on Ken Griffey. I've said plenty about him in other podcasts. So if you want to know more about Ken Griffey, just go to the other podcast and take a listen. But hit that subscribe button first.
Yeah, that's a good choice. My right fielder is Vladimir Guerrero.
Mm-hmm.
Again, swagger. His son coming in. I mean, his son's just as talented as him, which is cool as well. But this is not about his son. This is about him. And him, my biggest memory with Vladimir Guerrero is I think it was 2007 or 2006 home run derby that he won, going back and forth. Dude, that was like the most exciting home run derby of my lifetime. And it was just so cool to see them go at it like that. Again, he's a guy that was kind of lazy on the defensive side, especially towards the end of his career. And then he became a DH. But yeah, dude, just a straight up raw power hitter, and he was something that you were afraid of. So, but not many people mention him either throughout the 2000s. They don't really mention him too much. So, Vladimir Guerrero is my right fielder for sure.
Yeah, I can 100% agree with that. It was always fun watching Vlad taking that bat. I remember that. I don't know if you remember or not, but that one time where he hit the ball into left field off the hop. The pitcher hopped the ball to him, and he still hit it. Yeah, Vlad was always such a very good power. And he had a unique stance too. It didn't look like he'd be able to hit the ball. And if you look at his son's stance, he has just about the same stance. So
yeah,
it's going to be cool to watch Vlad Jr. come up as well. So, all right, moving on to my right field. This one is a kind of a surprise, maybe, but there's reasons for it. In my right field is Juan Pierre. And the reason why I have Juan Pierre as my right fielder is one, the dude is super fast, and I always love fast players. And at the time of all of this going down, he played for the Marlins, I believe. He won the World Series with them. So let's get into the when I played baseball. I played Little League baseball from when I was 5 to 18. Well, not Little League, but all the leagues growing up there. But there was one year I had a Juan Pierre card, and I put it in my sock every single game. I don't know why I did this, but I did, and I had the best season of my life and it's always stuck with a memory in my head because I honestly don't know why I did it. Like, Juan Pierre wasn't a superstar player; it was just some random dude. But he batted 295 for his career, so he wasn't too bad, and he stole a lot of bases, so he was just fun to watch, and he was fun in my sock too. So Juan Pierre's my right fielder.
That is the most questionable thing you have ever said. I'm not even saying on the podcast. I'm saying in my history of talking to you. Oh yeah, he was for fun in my sock too. It was all right. All right. All right. We got DH now. Smart Teixeira.
Right.
No. Number 34, David Ortiz. Big Papi. Literally, all I have to do is say his name, and then that's enough reason for why. Dude, it's Big Papi.
Mm-hmm.
Every single Red Sox fan that watched Red Sox throughout this time, their favorite player, and they'll say the greatest player in Red Sox history, only because of what he means to them in their heart. Not so much what he did on the field, but just what he means to them in their heart. Number one Red Sox player of all time, Big Papi, was there beginning to end for the city, for the team, and the team and the city rallied around him. So it was definitely the most mutual thing in all of sports. Just Big Papi's that one guy that you get in your lifetime that you say no one will ever come close to that person on that team ever, and Big Papi's that guy. So whether he was at first base or he's a DH, didn't matter. Whenever you saw him, you wanted to yell his name. So Big Papi, DH.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I knew Big Papi was definitely your DH. And he's probably your favorite player on the team, to be honest. That's my guess.
Favorite player in baseball history for me, actually.
Yes, David Ortiz was a one of a kind guy. You're not going to get another duplicate of Big Papi. And also for people who watch baseball, who are fans of the game right now, David Ortiz did also play for the Twins. If no one else knows that, he wasn't just a Red Sox.
Nobody cares. No, he's a Red Sox. He ain't a Twin. He's a Red Sox, and he'll tell you that he's a Red Sox. Screw the Twins. He is a Red Sox through and through. He never played for the Twins. Get out of here. He was there.
Right.
He was a shell of himself. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Sox made him whole. When he was with the Twins, he was the Grinch. Okay. He was the Grinch that stole Christmas. When he came to the Red Sox, he was the Grinch that gave Christmas back to Whoville. That's the big difference. So no, he was never a Twin. He's a Red Sox, and don't at me on that one.
All right, moving on to my DH. Well, it's kind of ironic that it's a Yankee. I don't know. It's Alex Rodriguez. And the reason why it's Alex Rodriguez, the same with Juan Pierre. Juan Pierre had a special moment in my sock for a year. Alex Rodriguez had a special moment in my heart for my whole baseball career, wearing the number 13. I wore number 13 when I was playing baseball as a kid. And he was the reason for it. I always just liked everything about what he did besides being a Yankee. I thought he was a very good hitter. I thought he was a semi-decent fielder. More decent when he played for the Rangers and Mariners. But I just thought he was such an amazing talent on the baseball field. And it just stinks that he had to play for the Yankees, obviously. But yeah, Alex Rodriguez is my DH. And I know Shoop mentioned earlier that Terry Francona was his manager. Terry Francona is also my manager for the same reasons.
Did he also have great moments in your sock?
Yeah.
My favorite podcast of all time. We found out some really messed up things with your socks, though.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? Baseball players have some weird superstitions. So Juan Pierre in my sock is not weird one bit.
No, just the fun that he had in your sock is weird.
I don't know how he lasted in there the whole season, to be honest. Thanks for listening to the Mainly Sports Podcast with Shoop and Jeesh. Make sure to leave a comment and give us your top 10 list. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow us on Instagram at mainly_sports. And that's mainly_sports, MAINELY_SPORTZ. Thank you. Till next time.